secondary nucleus, that is haploid plus a diploid structure, to form a triploid structure called primary endosperm nucleus. In turn, we call it as triple fusion because 3 nuclei are fusing. That's why we call it as triple fusion. Both of them together, syngamy and triple fusion, is nothing but double fertilization. This double fertilization is a characteristics of angiosperms. In simple ways, if they ask you what is double fertilization, it is in the single ovule only, both the male gametes are utilized at 2 different places, so we call it as double fertilization. Now, which were these 2 places? We already know that one is a female gamete and the second one is a secondary nucleus. From the secondary nucleus, already seen the development of the endosperm. We had already seen the development of the endosperm. Either the nucleus is going on dividing and redividing without the division of the cytoplasm. We had called it as free nuclear endosperm. Next, when the nucleus is dividing, along with the division, it is even taking the cytoplasmic division. So 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cell, 4 cell, so we call it a cellular type. Then the next one which we had was, it is first divided to 2 cells, and then individual cells are dividing at free nuclear division. Means it is showing the characters or dual characters, that is free nuclear as well as this cellular type. So we call that particular type of endosperm formation as lobe. This we had done it till last time in the last lecture. Now we are moving on to the next one, that is something pertaining to the process, how exactly the fertilization had taken place. We had seen that. So we have to go for the embryology. Correct? Now, in that embryology part, what is important is we got the diploid structure zygote. We got this diploid structure zygote. Zygote, which is a diploid structure. Correct? This zygote, which is a diploid structure, in turn, will form what? It will be developing into an embryo. How will it develop into an embryo? This zygote will generally take place, or the development of the embryo. Ankit sir is there. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, my screen is coming small to me in one corner. For me.
Okay, just a second, I'll try. Now?
It has come, it has come. Sorry, it has come.
Okay.
It's come full. Okay. Embryology, the zygote, which is a diploid structure, 2N in nature, which was found over here near the micropylar end, because egg is near the micropylar end. So the zygote will be forming an embryo near the micropylar end only. Correct? So that diploid structure is over here, has come, I have taken over here. Zygote, diploid structure at the micropylar end. This zygote with a diploid structure at the micropylar end, what is happening to it? It generally takes place at the micropylar end. This will divide transversely into 2 cells. It is dividing transversely into 2 cells. This is a transverse division. The zygote further divides, and this division is taking place into 2 cells. Now these 2 cells are, the upper one is called as a terminal cell. The upper one is called as the terminal cell. Or it can be called as embryonal mass. It can be called as embryonal mass. Hello? Yes, somebody was talking something? The upper cell is called as terminal cell, or it is called as embryonal mass, whereas the lower one is called as the basal cell. It is called as the basal cell. Correct? The basal cell, I am writing over here some indication for you, that is towards the micropylar end, whereas the terminal cell is towards the chalazal end. This is nothing, it is towards the micropylar end, and this is towards the chalazal end. This part you have to remember, you should not forget it while doing the description in your board exam. When the question they ask you, describe the development of the embryo in the angiosperms, this point is very important. If this point is going wrong, you have Haywards. So basal cell is always towards the micropylar end, and the terminal cell or the embryonal mass is always towards the chalazal end. Now what will happen? This basal cell will go on dividing and redividing mitotically. The basal cell goes on dividing and redividing mitotically. मैं फिलहाल embryonal cell को कुछ भी नहीं कर रही हूँ. I am dividing the basal cell mitotically. It is going on dividing and redividing mitotically till it forms a filamentous structure. Correct? It is forming 8 to 10 cell structure, filamentous. The apical cell in this is yet the same way basal cell which will go on dividing. Correct? So this part which is being formed, filament, the filament which is being formed in turn over here, we call it as suspensor. The filament which is being formed is called as suspensor. This is nothing but your basal cell only, same way. ये वाला जो हम लोग ने लिया था ना, ये basal cell है, same. ये filamentous structure बना, that is called as a suspensor. Now simultaneously we had a terminal of the embryonal cell. That terminal of the embryonal cell is first dividing mitotically into two. It is again dividing mitotically into two. So you get 4 cells. Correct? This is nothing but your proembryo, 4-celled proembryo. This is called as 4-celled proembryo. Towards the micropylar end, we have the zygote. Zygote can also be called as oospore. Zygote can also be called as oospore, which is diploid. This cell is dividing mitotically. It is dividing mitotically. It is forming 2 cells. One, terminal cell of the embryonal cell. Second, the basal cell. Terminal cell is always towards the chalazal end, whereas basal cell is always towards the micropylar end. Now, first to divide is the basal cell. This basal cell divides and redivides till it forms a filamentous structure. This filamentous structure is now called a suspensor. At the tip of it, we have the same way basal cell. Now, the embryonal cell simultaneously was there. That embryonal cell is dividing first mitotically into 2 cells. Again, perpendicular to the first one, it is dividing mitotically to form 4 cells. So this 4-cell structure is nothing but it is called as your proembryo. It is nothing but it is called as proembryo. The 4-cell structure is nothing but it is the primitive form of embryo that is called as proembryo. Now it goes for the division. The filamentous structure as it is. The basal cell is now forming one huge structure that is called as hostolium, which is collecting the food for the developing embryo. That is nothing but your basal cell only. This is nothing but your suspensor cells. This is nothing but your suspensor cells. Now, what is happening to this particular thing? It is dividing mitotically perpendicular to the first 2 divisions. If you have done reproduction and the cleavages part, just see how you must have done it. First division, I'm doing it with pencil because it is not needed over here. Second division perpendicular to the first one. Third division perpendicular to both of them. Can you get it? This is the first division. This is the first. This is the second division. Then this is the first one. This is the second one perpendicular to it. Perpendicular to both of them is your third one. That is this one. Correct? एक बॉल लेते हो ना, बॉल के ऊपर धागा बांधो सेंटर पे, तो वो एक हुआ डिवीजन. उसके परपेंडिकुलर में दूसरा बार धागा बांधो, तो वो दूसरा डिवीजन. उसके दोनों का परपेंडिकुलर में तीसरा धागा बांधो, तो आपको 4 सेल ऊपर मिलेगा, 4 सेल नीचे मिलेगा, तो 8 सेल का स्ट्रक्चर बनेगा. I have already got your 4. Now I am going to divide this perpendicular to both the divisions. The cell which is going to this particular division, which is perpendicular to the first 2 divisions, in turn is going to form now 8-cell structure. Now how is this 8-cell structure? Let's see over here. This is first. ये आपको already 2 cells है मेरे पास. अभी perpendicular दोनों को, तो ये मेरा 8-cell structure हुआ. 4 आगे 4 पीछे. बराबर है? This in turn we call it as octet. octant or 8 cell structure. इंटरमीडिएट चाहिए, डायरेक्टली नहीं देगा, तो वो इंटरमीडिएट सेल ये है जिसका नाम है हाइपोफाइसिस. वो इंटरमीडिएट सेल ये है जिसका नाम है हाइपोफाइसिस. So the development of the embryo is from zygote, then it is two cell structure, single cell structure, then it is two cell structure, then it is forming the proembryo and the suspensor. The basal cell remains as it is. After that, the basal cell is now forming the hostorium for nourishing the developing embryo. The suspensor remains the same way. The extreme end of the suspensor at the opposite end next to the proembryo is acting as an hypophysis. The proembryo, which was a 4-cell structure, is dividing perpendicular to both the earliest divisions and is forming an 8-cell structure that is nothing but the octant. Till here it is fine, my dear friends. You all want me to repeat it once again, or you all want me to describe it down? I can describe it down like how we did last time. I can write the notes also over here. We had, you have to help me now, a single celled diploid nucleus zygote. Yes or no? Zygote ka other name is what? Oospore. It divides mitotically. This I am giving you all the name of the division, cell division which is taking place. If you omit this, no problem. Correct? This is the type of cell division. I can say it divides transversely because our textbook mentions this, transversely. Correct? Your horizontal division tha na? Ye horizontal tha na division. So it divides transversely to form two cells. Which were these two cells? Basal cell, which is where towards the micropylar end. And which other cell? Terminal or embryonal. This is where towards the chalazal end. Correct? Next step. The basal cell divides and redivides to form a filamentous structure called, what is the name of that structure? Suspensor. The tip cell remains as it is. The embryonal cell or the terminal cell divides and redivides to form 4-celled structure called proembryo. ठीक है यहाँ तक it is fine. I have done this. I have done the description of this. I have done the description of till here. Agreed? Any problem till here for anyone? No? Should I proceed? Should I proceed? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Now, further. The tip cell, that is the basal cell, is now acting as hostorium. The basal cell, we already said that, is now acting as hostorium to nourish the developing embryo. The cell of the suspensor which is towards the proembryo is acting or is called hypophysis. The proembryo which is four-celled structure now divides transversely to form eight-celled structure called octant. Agreed? ये हम लोग ने किया यहाँ तक. ये देखो, it is called as ostotrium, then the suspensor cell, then the tip of it is called as the hypophysis, and the proembryo is dividing transversely again to form an eight-cell structure which is called as an octant. Correct? Now, the hostorium, the suspensor will remain as it is. The hostorium and the suspensor will remain as it is. ये अपना hostorium, ये अपना suspensor. Correct? The tip cell, उसका भी ये hostorium, ये suspensor. इसका tip cell the same way I can call it as hypophysis because it is the same word which is not changing now. But this particular eight-cell structure now is dividing in all the different directions, and therefore it is forming a heart-shaped structure. It divides in all the different directions and it forms a heart-shaped structure. It is this heart-shaped structure which is called as embryo proper. It is called as embryo proper. Correct? Heart-shaped structure. Now, I will write the same thing. Hostorium remains as it is. Remains as it is. The suspensor cells also same way. So also the hypophysis. There is no change in these three labelings, but ये वाला important है. But the 1 second here. But the octant cells divide and redivide mitotically to form a heart-shaped structure called as embryo. Correct? Proembryo से अपने को अभी प्रॉपर एम्ब्रियो मिला. प्रोएम्ब्रियो 4 सेल था, बाद में ऑक्टेंट मिला, फिर अपने को प्रॉपर एम्ब्रियो मिला which is heart shaped structure. Correct? This is what is still here now. Just refer it once again. I'll go very slowly. You'll see it, the diagram, and then we'll go for the description also. Can you see? Tell you. Can I proceed? Can I proceed? Okay, thank you. Now, what is happening to that particular heart-shaped structure? We had seen this structure towards the end because I don't want to turn and show you all the pages again and again. So I'm doing it over here, Haustorium. This is not anything new, the same thing, I'm just redrawing it over here. This is nothing but suspensor. Then I had the heart-shaped structure over here. Embryo. ये अपना last paragraph था, last diagram. That same diagram I'm proceeding now. What is happening now? There are two different compartments you can see in the heart structure, or two projections. From this one projection, we'll be forming the radical. One projection is forming the radical, which will later on form the roots. Correct? Now, within this particular structure, you can see this part is nothing but the shaded part is basically the radical part. This is further extending. At the junction, it will show the formation of the plumule. One is descending axis, one is ascending axis. Correct? This plumule is further bifurcating now. From here, it will further bifurcate. Can you see the bifurcation now? Could you see the bifurcation? This bifurcation, in turn, we call it as cotyledon. This bifurcation, in turn, we call it as cotyledon. So the developed embryo is now showing the radical, the plumule, which is nothing but the shoot. Then the cotyledon, which we already know, either they are meant for nourishing the developing embryo, or they may be forming the leaves also later on. Now this is forming something, a structure resembling to the horseshoe. Yes or no? This structure is somewhat resembling to horseshoe. So we call this embryo to be horseshoe shaped embryo. We call this embryo to be horseshoe shaped embryo. Correct? Once again, this was a diagram which has come with the heart-shaped structure is then bifurcating. It is bifurcating to form two structures. One is forming the radical and other one is forming the cotyledon. But at the junction of the radical and the cotyledon, there is a plumule. Now this structure is resembling to a horseshoe. Therefore, we call this embryo as horse-shaped embryo. And horseshoe-shaped embryo is very much common in the case of dicots, or in the case of angiosperms rather, you can say. This is observed in the case of dicot. If you want to see the flow chart of this, how can you remember this? The flow chart for dicots is, my comparison mein idhar hi likhne ka dono. Better I'll write here only. For dicots, how the development of the embryo is there, there is a flow chart. Here the zygote of the oospore. We have zygote or oospore, which is diploid in nature. This zygote or oospore is dividing mitotically into two. One is the basal cell and one is the terminal cell. Terminal cell का दूसरा भी नाम था ना? भूल गए. Very good. Basal cell, embryonal cell, correct. Embryonal cell. Basal cell is towards the micropylar end, whereas terminal cell is towards the chalazal end. Now, basal cell will be giving rise to suspensor. Correct? Whereas the terminal cell will be forming an octant, 8-cell structure. This octant will be forming two different things because it was in two tiers, upper and lower tier. The lower tier is forming the radical Correct? The lower tier is forming the radicle, which will be forming the roots. Correct? Whereas the upper tier is forming the plumule and cotyledons. Now here you may come across the word as hypobasal. Hypo is below, basal is at the base. That is next to the suspensor, radicle is formed. Next to the suspensor, the radicle is formed. Now where is the suspensor here? So where is the suspensor in this diagram? You can see the suspensor is over here. So here the radicle will be formed. Correct? This will be called as hypobasal. Hypobasal is next to suspensor. Whereas it is called as it will be called as epibasal above. It is called as epibasal. It is above the basal cell. Correct? And that will be forming the plumule and the cotyledon. Agreed? This is observed in the case of your dicots. In the monocots, what is happening? There is this hairline difference between the two of them. In monocots, the development of the embryo is somewhat similar only, but slight difference is there. We have the zygote, which is also called as oospore, which is diploid in nature. Correct? This zygote is dividing mitotically to form two cells the same way. I told you hairline difference is there. One is the basal cell and one is the terminal cell. Terminal cell is forming the octant, same way exactly. But the basal cell over here is forming two different things. One is lower and one is upper derivative. Now this upper and lower derivative in turn are helpful for formation of your coleoptile, coleorhiza, plumule and radicle. Whereas this particular octant part will be forming only that part, you can say that is the endosperm over there. Agreed? Slight difference is there. इसमें basal cell ने खाली suspensor बनाया था. इसमें basal cell ने upper and lower derivative बनाया. That in turn will be forming the cotyledons and the plumules, etc. Whereas this octant will be forming the structure called as the endosperm. ये आपको नहीं है, ये आपको syllabus में नहीं है, so don't break your head. It is not there in the syllabus, so need not break your head. If at all it is asked in NEET or something, you should be aware. Slight difference is only there, nothing else. So as of right now, even if you forget it, no problem. 12th में अपने को नहीं चाहिए. 12th में no need to do this. It is not at all important. Is it clear? अपने को main खाली development of embryo important है. पहला वाला, wherein we had zygote, which is dividing transversely to form two different cells, basal cell and the terminal cell. The basal cell is further dividing and redividing to form a filamentous structure called as suspensor. The terminal cell divides first to form two cells, again divides to form two cells. So it is forming now four cells. That four is called as proembryo. The proembryo is dividing.
Hello.
Forming
Hello.
the upper and the lower tier. That
Hello.
is
Hello, ma'am.
हाँ जी, किसी को प्रॉब्लम है?
And what is written below the terminal cell?
Embryonal cell or chalaza, which is towards the chalaza end. Embryonal cell, which is towards the chalaza end. This part you are talking now?
Yes.
Terminal cell, embryonal cell, which is towards the chalaza end. अभी clear है? दिखा? Vikram,
Yes.
terminal cell is also called as embryonal cell. Where is it present? It is present towards the chalaza end. It is dividing first into two, then dividing to form four. That is proembryo. Then these four are again dividing transversely, perpendicular to both the divisions. 8-cell structure, that is octant, which is nothing but 8-cell structure. Correct? In which the one which is towards the basal end is forming the radicle, and the one which is towards the opposite end is forming the plumule and the cotyledon. So the one which is towards the basal or the suspensor cell is called as hypobasal, and the one which is away from it, it is called as epibasal. That way it is. Heart shape structure का भी. ये heart shape structure था ना अपना left hand side का diagram पे, ये देखो ये heart shape structure. The one which is towards the basal end, यहाँ पे, it is called as hypobasal, and this is away from it, so it is called as epibasal. ये वाला, it is forming that horseshoe-like or a flapped structure, you can say, or this structure, U-shaped structure. This particular U-shaped structure is nothing but the cotyledon. Radical is towards the suspensor. Agreed? So this forms the radical, the plumule, and the cotyledon. That is, two cotyledons are there, so it is said to be a dicot. In the case of monocots, we'll have only one of them. But monocots का आपको syllabus में नहीं है, so don't break your head. Please, it's a request not to break your head. Then, what are the post-fertilization changes? What are the post-fertilization changes? ये सब होने के बाद में अभी post-fertilization क्या changes आएगा? The ovary gets converted into fruit. The ovule gets converted into seed. The ovary wall into fruit wall. The seed coat, sorry, the ovule wall into seed coat. अभी fruit wall का नाम है, last year आपने क्या था, pericarp, scientific name. Seed coat का testa is a scientific name. Correct? Next, the nucellus which is left out, nucellus which is left, not eaten up or not taken up during the development. It is left out, remnants you can say. They are forming perisperm. I can tell you, though it is not a perisperm, but I can just give you a hint like how it looks like. खजूर खाते हो ना, dates. Dates में जो ऊपर का पार्ट खाते हो, brownish या जो भी आता है वो वाला, वो सीड के बीच ऊपर आपको एक ट्रांसपेरेंट कवरिंग दिखता है, एकदम पेपरी. That transparent covering is nothing but the perisperm. Correct? It is observed over there very clearly. The same way, if at all in your college they are doing it without, because syllabus में तो नहीं है, practical syllabus में नहीं है. अरे, I was supposed to forward the practical book, na? I'm not forwarded. I'll forward today. Don't worry. If at all, like अपना ये this the endos castor seed का आपको देखने को मिला, because what they have to do is they have to collect the castor seed and soak it in alcohol. College may have to soak it in alcohol, then only the testa will come out. Once the testa comes out, then you will see a transparent papery covering. That transparent papery covering is nothing but it is the perisperm. After that is the cotyledon. Within the cotyledon is the papery, thin, you can say, very thin one. That is nothing after the perisperm is the endosperm, and inside that is the thin and papery cotyledon. That way it is. वो castor seed आपने 11th में किया था. We had drawn the diagram also. I remember it very well on the board. It was slightly this way. If you all can remember, I had drawn it this way, and then on this only I had shown some leaf-like structure. I told this is thin and papery cotyledon. This is nothing but the endosperm, which is thick and fleshy. ये दोनों को covering करता है. That is nothing but the perisperm. ऐसे करके. That was something pertaining to the part after the fertilization. Now we have to see something pertaining to the types of seeds. Correct? Types of seeds. Let's see. We have basically two types of seeds. One is endospermic or albuminous. ये हम लोग ने last year भी किया था शायद. And the other one is non-endospermic. If you all can recollect, we have done before the families. Or ex-albuminous seeds. Can you all recollect? You have done this. Endospermic seeds were again classified into two types. because they are there in the syllabus. One was monocot, one is dicot, and this we have done only one particular type, that is dicot. Example for monocot was your maize. Example for dicot was your castor. Whereas example for your dicot over here was bean or gram or pea, whatever you can recollect at that time. Now coming to the first one, maize. भुट्टा तो आपने देखा होगा, उसका एक एक सीड ऐसा रहता है somewhat. Correct? I am going to take the LS of this particular grain. When I am taking the LS, I will see a structure somewhat this way. The same type of structure will be seen. And that structure I am going to stain it by means of iodine. That to dilute iodine. When I stain it by means of dilute iodine, what is happening? Towards the periphery, I will get the yellow layer. Towards the periphery, I will get the yellow layer here. This layer is nothing but it is called as aileron layer. This layer is none other than the aileron layer. This layer is made up of ample amount of proteins. Inner to that, I will come across this, because it is a starch, it has been turned blue in color. Or I have stained it with iodine, so it turned blue in color. So this is nothing but the starchy endosperm. Next, the structure we can see over here is Hayward's, because it is sometimes cut, sometimes there, sometimes not there. This structure we call it as hull. What is hull? Hull is the outermost covering which is made up of pericarp. Pericarp is what? The fruit wall. Plus testa, that is the seed wall. Both of them are grouping together to form the structure known as hull. So the maize grain shows the outermost layer, nothing but the hull. Inner to that layer, it shows the aileron layer that is made up of proteins. Inner to that, it shows a structure that is nothing but the starchy endosperm. Towards one end, we come across this structure that is nothing but the epithelial mass. You can say this is nothing but the epithelial layer. But down we come across a structure named as this. Inside this, something is there. So this C-shaped structure is nothing but it is coleorhiza. And this stalk-like structure which you can see is nothing but the radicle. Be very careful about certain things over here which I'm talking. R of coleorhiza and R of radicle are going hand in hand. On the opposite end, I come across another structure that is called as this one. The same way, this shield-shaped structure is nothing but it's called as coleoptile. And the stalk-like structure is nothing but the plumule. Now, in this also, if you try to see the comparison, that is P of coleoptile and P of plumule going hand in hand. So you should not make a mistake. We generally ask you all, coleoptile and coleorhiza are shielding. Coleoptile and coleorhiza are shielding. Radical plumule, first option. Second option, radical as well as endosperm. Third option, it is plumule radical. Fourth option, it is the hull as well as the radical.
Third.
Third option, why? Because it has to go in that same order respectively. Is it clear? It has to go in that same order. चीज वही है, खाली प्रेजेंटेशन का आपको ध्यान रखना है, और वो ध्यान कभी रखोगे जब आपको ये राइमिंग मालूम पड़ेगा. जब ये आपको ध्यान में रहेगा, you will never make a mistake, my dear. Every second student does make a mistake. Even we as teachers do make a mistake. It's not nothing is new under the sun. हम लोग भी मिस्टेक कर करके इधर तक आए हैं, तो मिस्टेक होने का चांस है. तो उधर नहीं होने के लिए टिप है कि भाई ये P और ये P साथ में जाता है, यानी कि ये वाला इसका शील्ड है, ये R और ये R साथ में जाता है, ये इसका शील्ड है, ये साथ में जाना चाहिए वर्ड्स. इतना ध्यान में रखने का आपको, इसके लिए टिप्स दिया है और कुछ नहीं है. नेक्स्ट, this part which is there is now called as coleoptile, plumule, radicle, coleorhiza. Together, it is now called as scutellum or cotyledon. Therefore, the maize grain is monocotyledonous and endospermic or albuminous. Agreed? Now go to the second one, dicot. Dicot may you had example as castor. If you recollect, we done it last year. I told you it is slightly oval in shape. It is having some striations on the seed coat, correct? And it was having a spongy tissue over here. And I remember now we had called this tissue as caruncle. Yes or no? This is nothing but the seed coat. I soak it in alcohol. The caruncle will absorb the alcohol and throw towards the inner side. So this hard seed coat is then broken down, and you will get a wide shaped structure that is oval in shape this way. ये oval structure को एक protective covering रहता है, transparent covering. वो transparent covering का नाम है perisperm. वो हम लोग निकाल के फेंक देते हैं जब हम लोग को इसका section देखने का तभी. Once I remove this transparent covering, I will get two such endosperms. Two half of the endosperms I will get. Correct? Within these two halves, I will get this thin papery structure, leafy like. This thin papery leafy structure is nothing but it is the cotyledon. Correct? This is nothing but the endosperm. Towards one end, I will come across the structure called as the radicle. Towards the other end, I will come across a structure called as the plumule. So this castor seed, in turn, is said to be dicotyledonous as well as albuminous or endospermic seed. Why? Because it shows the presence of the endosperm. Okay? Then go to the next one, that is bean seed. ये तो आप स्कूल से करते आ रहे हो, पी भी ले सकते हो, बीन भी ले सकते हो, जो चाहिए वो ले हो. Bean seed. This bean seed, if you try to see, it is slightly kidney shape, of white color का इधर black line दिखता है. You soak it and you try to remove the covering. Of white color का covering निकल जाएगा. Of white color का जो covering निकल जाएगा, उसके बाद में you will get two kidney shaped structures. These two kidney shaped structures are nothing but they are said to be the cotyledons. Correct? You will see one projection coming outwards. One thick projection coming outwards. जैसे आप घर पे स्प्राउट कैसे उगाते हो, वैसे स्प्राउट्स का जो आता है, that sprout का thing is nothing but the radicle. इसके अंदर आपको दो लीफी स्ट्रक्चर दिखाई देगा. इसी के अंदर आपको दो लीफी स्ट्रक्चर ऐसा दिखाई देगा. These are nothing but the plumule. Plumule, cotyledon, and radicle. But here we did not come across any word as endosperm. So this is said to be dicotyledonous, non-endospermic or X-albuminous seed. Correct? ये आपको ध्यान में रखने का इतना. रेफर करो एक बार सीड का पार्ट so that we can proceed further. Can I proceed? Should I proceed now? If at all you are doing something like you are studying and all such thing for NEET and all preparing, you may have a particular point in your mind as to whether we have any such thing of monocot over here. Yes, we do have of monocots also. Monocots non-endospermic or exalbuminous seed is your this apna orchids. One common example is your orchids, which is monocot as well as it is non-endospermic. Because यहाँ पे non-endospermic आपको दो मिला monocot and dicot. The same sorry endospermic आपको दो मिला monocot and dicot. The same way non-endospermic का दो है this monocots and dicots. So monocots में you have example as orchids. But उसका diagram is not there in your syllabus, so I am not breaking your head also. I am just giving you the part, like if at all you are going for NEET or something, if you come across that word, yes, you are aware about it. सुना हुआ है, होता है, ऐसा नहीं कि वो उधर ही end हो चुका है. Correct? For that reason. Next, you come in your text about the two terms now. Three terms. One is parthenocarpy. ये भी हम लोग ने last year किया है. One is apomixis. And one is polyembryony. ये तीन terms अपने को करने का है. What is parthenocarpy? The formation of the fruit. Formation of fruit without fertilization is parthenocarpy. The fruit is said to be parthenocarpic fruit. The fruit is said to be parthenocarpic fruit. And this fruit, in turn, if at all it shows the seeds, if seeds are present, they are sterile, means they will not be able to give rise to the new generation. Always it is being developed by means of parthenocarpic only. Sometimes the fruits may be seedless also, like your grapes, they are seedless. वो छोटा छोटा ग्रेप आता है ग्रीन वाला जो मिलता है मार्केट में या ब्लैक वाला, वो अर्जेंटीना वाला राउंड का नहीं, उसमें तो सीड भर भर के रहता है, इंपोर्टेड वाला. इंडियन जो ब्लैक रहता है या ग्रीन रहता है, इफ एक एक ग्रेप में अगर जो आपको दो दो सीड आएगा तो कबाब में हड्डी आपको खाने को अच्छा नहीं लगता है. So you prefer to have seedless grapes. So these seedless grapes are done by means of parthenocarpy. Correct? Then you have the next one that is called as apomixis. We already know what is apomixis. Apomixis is production of the plants, or plants are produced without fertilization. Then we call that particular plant to be apomixis, or that phenomena as apomixis. Now the person who is responsible for this apomixis is nothing but Winkler. He is responsible, he gave this term, or he coined the term apomixis. So what is happening in this? Certain time these plants may be producing the fruits also, they may be producing the seeds also. But these seeds produced by such fertilization called as apomictic seeds. The seeds of these plants are called as apomictic seeds. Apomictic seeds are produced from apomixis. Now, these seeds or the generation may either be haploid or it may be diploid. It may either be haploid or it may be diploid. It depends from where the next generation has started for that reason. Either it is from the gametophyte or it has been developed from the zygote. You never know. But it is happening because without the process of fertilization. Egg में से हो गया है, तो diploid का diploid further continue हुआ है, या male gamete से हो रहा है, so it will be haploid in nature. So it is not sure. Later on, they will find out the genetic constitution or the ploidy level of it, and they'll come to it. But these seeds, in turn, which are formed without the process of fertilization का plants में से, are called as apomictic seeds. And these apomictic seeds are basically said to be sterile by nature. They will not give next generation. They are basically said to be sterile by nature. But nowadays, they are developing this particular phenomena more. The reason behind that is if the farmers are not getting normal hybrid message seeds and all such things, good ones. So they say if we get the seeds from this particular aspect, then we are going to get the plants regularly of a good yield variety. So we should continue with that. So there is one particular female, and this apna Jalgaon and all that. She has kept a nursery and all that, and where she is getting the seeds done, and she's selling in the market. And these plants are being favored over there. This is there in your textbook actually. How it is being read on the textbook is the plants produce the seeds without the process of fertilization. It is called as apomixis, and the seeds are called as apomictic seeds. The term apomixis was coined by Winkler. It is commonly seen in some species of family Asteraceae and grasses. In apomixis, when gametophytic cell produces embryo, gametophytic cell, just imagine the word gametophyte, that is a female gametophyte producing an embryo. Female gametophyte itself is haploid, correct? Produces an embryo like structure without fertilization. It is known as a apogamy or haploid parthenogenesis. When a sporophytic cell produces a gamete without undergoing meiosis, it is called apospory, correct? Or diploid parthenogenesis. Any diploid cell, nucellus or integument, may develop into embryo-like structure without meiosis. Apomixis is a form of asexual reproduction. They are considering now that they are getting the fertile plants and all such things. They are getting it. Fertile in the sense like seeds nahi to plants are capable of giving rise to new plants. Aisa karke. So it is helpful, beneficial. The genetic constitution can be retained. And the last one which you have is something pertaining to polyembryony. What do you mean by polyembryony? Poly means many. Embryony means embryo. Formation of many embryos within a ovule in turn is called as polyembryony. And this polyembryony is very common in gymnosperms and in a few angiosperms. Gymnosperms में क्यों common है? क्योंकि gymnosperms में अपना ovule का structure is slightly this way. It is having the archegonial sac or the chamber. This archegonial chamber way, we had the archegonia. This way 5 or 6 archegonia were there. The male sperms are coming, or the male gametophyte or the male gametes are coming inside. Many male gametes will come. They may fuse. तो इधर तो अपने पास 5 या 6 आर्किगोनिया है, तो 6 का 6 यूनाइट हो गया, तो एक ओव्यूल में आपको एक से अनेक एम्ब्रियो मिला, तो you call it as polyembryony. This is very rare in the case of angiosperms. In angiosperms, yes, you do come across that particular zygote which is formed will divide. जैसे अपने में कैसे वो zygote एक बार बनता है in human beings, that zygote is dividing mitotically. 2 हो गया parts. दोनों पार्ट इंडिविजुअली देन डिवाइड हो रहे हैं, तो यू गेट दैट सियामी ट्विंस, सिमिलर ट्विंस, करेक्ट? फर्टिलाइजेशन एक ही बार हुआ है, जाइगोट बना, लेकिन वो जब क्लीवेज होता है तो 1 से 2, 2 से 4, 4 से 8, 8 से 16, 16 से 32 होना चाहिए. इसमें कैसा हुआ? 1 से 2 हो गया, फिर दोनों इंडिविजुअली 1 से 2, 2 से 4, 4 से 8 ऐसा बनने लगे. So you got development of the 2 different embryos within the fetus or within the womb, and therefore you got the twins, and these twins are exactly identical twins because it is not double fertilization over there. Here there are 2 sperm coming and fusing with the ova nahi hai. Here it is only single sperm, single ova, but zygote is dividing, so you get siamese twins, or you can say similar twins, we call them as. एग्जैक्ट कार्बन कॉपी दे आर ऑफ ईच अदर, शक्ल सूरत ये वो सब सेम है, 19-20 का फर्क होगा, दैट ओनली पेरेंट्स विल बी एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई, यू एंड आई नहीं। कुछ कैरेक्टर्स होंगे वो लोग आइडेंटिफाई कर सकेंगे, हम और आप नहीं कर सकेंगे, बाहर से अपने को दोनों आइडेंटिकल दिखेंगे, करेक्ट। So that is observed over there. That means it is two embryos are developing. Sometimes what happens, दो एम्ब्रियो बनता है तो उसमें एक वाला मेल रहेगा, एक वाला फीमेल भी हो सकता है, वैसे ट्विंस हो सकते हैं, they are called as fraternal twins in our case, correct. So that is polyembryony. Both of them are different types. अभी एक साइकस में था वो पॉलीएम्ब्रियोनी था because each individually got multiplied. सिट्रस में जो है एंजियोस्पर्म में वो पॉलीएम्ब्रियोनी है, मगर इतने एम्ब्रियोज नहीं बनते वैसा, अपना फर्टिलाइजेशन उतना नहीं हो रहा है, इट इज वन फर्टिलाइजेशन बट द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द एम्ब्रियो इज गोइंग ऑन इंक्रीजिंग, ऐसे करके वो सियामी ट्विंस के जैसा. सो दीज आर द टू डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स व्हिच यू हैव टू रिमेंबर, but that definitely in the board level they do not ask much about it. They just ask you what define the term polyembryony, and polyembryony is nothing but formation of more than one embryo in an ovule is said to be polyembryony. Is it clear? I think that finishes this chapter, I think, totally.
Ma'am,
हाँ जी.
3 types of apomixis.
हाँ.
Ma'am, 3 of apomixis भी है.
3 types of apomixis ना? मालूम है, वो important नहीं है actually. मेरे को याद है वो. 3 types of apomixis are there. I know that. But then that is not that important. That is elegant seeds. Seeds के हिसाब से उन लोग ने identify किया उसको. And that female over there ना आपका एक्टिविटी है, शायद टेक्स्ट बुक में एक एक्टिविटी है उसके ऊपर से, नॉन रिकरेंट एपोमिक्सिस, देन रिकरेंट एपोमिक्सिस एंड एडेंटिव एपोमिक्सिस, करेक्ट हो ना? एक लेडी है उसका आपको ये दिया है उन लोगों ने, रहेली बाई, देखो कलेक्ट द इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट द सीड, मदर रहेली बाई स्टोरी, हाउ डज शी सेव ओवर 80 वेराइटीज ऑफ नेटिव सीड्स, ऐसा करके वो पूरा स्टोरी आपको नेट में मिलता है. मैंने बनाया अभी वो स्टोरी, लिखा हुआ है मेरे पास, उसका नोट्स में बना रही हूँ, तो उसमें ये आता है, wherein she is mentioning this way, recurrent apomixis, non-recurrent apomixis and adventive. Recurrent apomixis is what? In this time the embryo sac generally arise either from the archisporial cell or from some other part of the nucellus. Means what? It is not the megaspore mother cell, the embryo sac. It is from any other part of the nucellus. So it is said to be recurrent. Correct? In diplospory, the reduced embryo sac is derived from the diploid megaspore mother cell. In apospory, the nucellar cells give rise to the apomictic embryo sac. Correct? The nucellar cells, that is the nucellus cells, are forming the embryo sac. क्योंकि nucellus cells में से megaspore mother cell से आपको नहीं बना है, nucellus cells are only forming this, तो embryo sac कौन बनाता है? तो nucellus cells ही बनाते हैं, ऐसा करके. That is apomic. Non-recurrent में what it is? It is time in which the megaspore mother cell undergoes meiotic division and a haploid embryo sac is formed. जैसा अपना बन रहा था अभी तक वैसा ही. Here the embryo arises either from the egg by parthenogenesis or from some other haploid cells of the gametophyte. It may be either synergid cell, it may be antipodal cell, haploid cell बोला है. तो haploid egg के अलावा तो synergids and ये है antipodals. From there it can arise of the gametophyte through apogamy. Apogamy means without the fusion of the gametes or formation of gametes. ये दोनों terms apogamy and apospory last year हम लोग ने pteridophytes में किया था. Why plant seeds? आधा question आया. Why plant seeds? विराम किधर है विराम?
डॉर्मेंसी की परफॉर्म करता है सीड.
Where it is? Why plant seeds आपने लिखा, आधा क्वेश्चन मेरे को सुनाई दिया, देखने में भी उतनी आया.
नहीं पूरा लिखा, डॉर्मेंसी की परफॉर्म करता है.
Clear नहीं आ रहा है वॉइस, my dear friend. Honestly, I'm telling you, it's not that voice is clear.
And dormancy.
Dormancy, sleeping period. Dormancy is sleeping period. अभी सिंपल है, डे टू डे एग्जांपल. आप चना चौली घर में मूंग वगैरह डालते हैं ना भिगोने को, मम्मी रात को डालती है, सुबह में करती है. But certain times some seeds are not swelling up. Some of these pulses do not swell up. चना चौली जो भी मम्मी ने डाला है भिगोने को, सूखता नहीं है, और उसको थाली का अपना प्लेट या स्टील का जो भी बर्तन है उसके ऊपर गिराओगे ना, सेम वे आवाज आएगा जैसे सूखेगा रहता है। क्यों? क्योंकि अभी तक उसका डॉर्मेंसी टूटा नहीं, नींद में से उठा नहीं है अभी तक। ऐसा जैसे आप लोग को कितना बार उठाना पड़ता है, फिर क्या करते हैं हम लोग, उठाते हैं, अलार्म लगाया, ये लगाया, उठाया, प्यार से उठाया, नहीं उठते, फिर हम लोग सीधा पानी डाल देते हैं। तो इसको भी क्या करना पड़ेगा, डॉर्मेंसी नहीं टूटता है ना, तो देयर इज अ प्रोसीजर फॉर इट। आइदर देन यू हैव टू कीप इट इन हॉट वाटर और यू हैव टू कीप इट अंडर रनिंग टैप वाटर। रनिंग टैप वाटर से क्या होगा, उसका एक्यूप्रेशर से पानी आएगा, अलग अलग दिशा में जाएगा वो। जैसे उसको एक्यूप्रेशर होएगा पानी का, तो उससे वो जागने को शुरू होएगा, एंड देन इट विल स्टार्ट स्वेलिंग अप। There are different procedures for this. That is the reason why the seed is undergoing dormancy period. And this you will be doing in this lesson number, I think this 10 है, 7 है कि 10 है, ऐसा करके कोई चैप्टर है, प्लांट ग्रोथ वाला जो चैप्टर है ना, उसमें आएगा वो। लेकिन वो भी पूरा नहीं आ रहा है, उसमें हम लोग ना एपीजेल हाइपोजेल भी नहीं कर रहे हैं, उसमें नहीं है, वो यूनिट नहीं है वैसा, बट वर्नलाइजेशन वगैरह है उसमें। Chilling treatment and all that is there. Long day plants are there, short day plants are there, new day plants are there, everything is there. वो वाला पार्ट है, लेकिन वो वाला जो जर्मिनेशन वाला पार्ट है ना, इट इज नॉट डूइंग। डोमेंसी, क्विंसेंस एंड ऑल दैट इज नॉट देयर इन दैट। वो पहले रहता था, अभी नहीं है। प्लांट ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट का चैप्टर है वो, उसमें वही चैप्टर में आई थिंक आगे चल के आपको नाइट्रोजन का साइकिल भी आ रहा है शायद, मिनरल न्यूट्रिशन ट्रांसपोर्ट वगैरह कुछ ऐसा करके नाम है शायद, कुछ तो भी चैप्टर का नाम है, मेरे को ध्यान में नहीं आ रहा है बराबर, लेकिन है वो एक चैप्टर। इज इट क्लियर डोमेंसी नाउ? Excuse me, Viram. Okay. Next is non-current. We were doing it in this type of megasperm mother cell undergoes usual meiotic division. Same way, वो megasperm mother cell जो enlarged था, वो divide होता है. It is forming a linear tetrad of 4 haploid megaspores. Yeah, of this, top 3 disintegrate, 1 is left out. जैसा है वैसे ही megaspore division. And a haploid embryo sac is formed. Here the embryo arises either from the egg. मींस इधर फर्टिलाइजेशन नहीं हो रहा है, पार्थिनोजेनेसिस, एग जो हैप्लॉइड था ना, वो ही ये बनता है, एम्ब्रियो बन जाता है। जैसा अपना डिप्लॉइड एम्ब्रियो का था ना, ये हैप्लॉइड एम्ब्रियो बनता है। ऐसा कहे, either from the egg by parthenogenesis or from some other haploid cells. Some other haploid cells is nothing but the synergies of the antibody cells of the gametophyte through apogamy, means without the formation of the gametes. Plants used by this method are generally sterile and do not reproduce sexually. अभी ये reproduce sexually तो नहीं करेगा, लेकिन वो प्लांट अच्छा है, उसका कैरेक्टर अच्छा है, जेनेटिक मेकअप अच्छा है, तो मैं उसको वेजिटेटिव प्रोपगेशन करेगी, asexual रिएक्शन में यूज करेगी। एंड द एग्जांपल फॉर दैट इज निकोटियाना, दैट इज अ तंबाकू।
और मैम मोजाइक एंडोस्पर्म क्या होता है?
हाँ,
मोजाइक एंडोस्पर्म,
मोज़ेक एंडोस्पर्म इज द सेम वन ना, हिलोबियल टाइप। हिलोबियल का दूसरा नाम इज मोज़ेक, because you can see both the characters in that, na, that's why. Next is adventive proembryony. In this type the embryos may develop from somatic nucellus or integuments. अभी nucellus और integument किधर है? ये अपना ovule का structure, ये outermost covering is nothing but the integument. या तो ये वाला embryo बनाएगा, या तो इसके अंदर का जो है ये nucellus, वो embryo बनाएगा। So it is either from the nucellus or the integuments along with the normal zygotic embryo, दोनों माना। It is common in mango, orange, lemon, etc. It gives rise to a condition called as polyembryony. अभी इसमें दो एम्ब्रियो कैसे बना, क्योंकि एक इंटेग्यूमेंट या तो न्यूसेलस से बना और दूसरा नॉर्मल एम्ब्रियो बना, इसके लिए। So it is giving a rise to the polyembryony, and it is more common in observed in lemon, mango, etc. That is there in this particular unit. Then parthenocarpy we have already done, polyembryony we have already done. And you said that mosaic endosperm, na, one second, that mosaic endosperm, the word itself is there in your sheet also, I think. They do mention it. I've given it somewhere, I've read it. Either your book or NCERT का book में किधर तो भी मैंने पढ़ा था. They also call this as mosaic end ऐसे करके. इसमें नहीं दिया, उसमें दिया है, वो किसी दिन दिखा दूंगी मैं आप. वो बुक लेके बैठूंगी ना मैं उस दिन नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में आपको दिखा दूंगी, तो ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में बिलीव करोगे आप. इधर दिया है Mosaic endosperm containing tissues of two different types is called as mosaic embryo. Two different types means the same, na? Elobial type. Correct, na? Hello? Hello? Viram? Viram? Are you there? Hello?
हाँ मैम.
See a mosaic type of endosperm. Endosperm containing tissues of two different types is called as mosaic. That is the same one, helobial type. Correct? Because you are getting two different types of cells over there. One is the nucellar and one is the cellular type. Correct? That is nothing but helobial type, in which you get this mosaic endosperm. Agreed? Now we have finished this chapter also. Are you all prepared for the next chapter? I had given some assignment last time. Have you all done it? Excuse me, all sleeping. My friends, I'm asking you all. Have you all done that assignment? Excuse me. No answer. All sleeping.
None of them have.
Huh?
They
Kabhi karoge? When are you all going to do that assignment? I have received only one till now. Huh? So when you all are going to submit it accordingly? Bolo. By tomorrow, is it possible? Excuse me, I'm talking to you all. Yes, no, कुछ भी नहीं, मैसेज भी नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं, कट भी नहीं. आज एकदम सोए हो. सर को मैं बोलती हूँ मेरे को इवनिंग का लेक्चर मत दो, मॉर्निंग का ही लेक्चर दो. I know, I got that. I said ना, I've got one student का.
Ma'am, it's okay.
I'm going to tell sir.
You don't have to do it.
Huh?
This is how they're going to behave, then they don't have to do it.
Okay.
If they were answering, we just consider it done. Then we'll move on.
Okay. Okay, ठीक है. चलो, can we go further to the next chapter? Molecular basis of inheritance. Can we go further? Now, when we did genetics, we said that we are either resembling to the father, we are either resembling to the mother. Correct? We have some characters of their father and some characters of mother. Why we have some characters of father or mother? That is because of the genes we have already seen over there. Now we are seeing this particular unit, that is molecular basis of inheritance, as to what the gene is made up of, basically. That gene made up, correct? So that part, the first person who did the observation over here was Griffiths experiment. What he did was, he had taken a bacteria named as Streptococcus. My dear, there are two different things. Apna textbook is showing Streptococcus. NCERT ka textbook is showing Streptococcus. ICSE is showing Diplococcus. So don't get confused. The moment you come across the word coccus, whether it is Diplo, Strepto, least be concerned. Streptococcus or Diplococcus. Pneumoniae is the name of the bacteria. Bacteria named as Streptococcus or Diplococcus pneumonia. He cultured it in the lab. Like how mama cultures the curd at home, na? She takes a bowl of milk, lukewarms it, adds a teaspoon of curd, stirs it, and keeps it standstill for 6 to 8 hours. The entire bowl of milk has been converted into curd. Means she has done the culture of the bacteria Lactobacillus. The same way here, they did the culture of this particular bacteria, that is Streptococcus or Diplococcus pneumoniae. Now, this bacteria is coming in two different forms. One is S strain and R strain. S strain is said to be, or it can be called as capsulated. It is said to be virulent as pathogenic. One and the same, each and every one tries to show their way. कैप्सूल है यानी कि प्रोटेक्टिव कवरिंग है, क्योंकि प्रोटेक्टिव कवरिंग है इसके लिए स्मूथ है. वायरुलेंट है यानी कि इट इज कॉजिंग द डिजीज. पैथोजेनिक है क्योंकि इट इज कॉजिंग द डिजीज. बोथ आर वन एंड द सेम, but you should be aware about the terminologies. That's why all the four terms are given to you. Whereas this rough R strain is said to be rough strain because it is non-capsulated. It is having rough wall. It is non-capsulated. It is non-virulent, as well as it is non-pathogenic. यानी कि ये जब इन्फेक्ट करेगा मेरे को कोई निमोनिया वगैरह नहीं होगा. He cultured both these types of bacteria or both these strains of bacteria in the laboratory. Next, he took into bacteria. He wanted to see the result. Now, he injected on it. One is the type of the bacteria and one is the state of the bacteria. He took the first healthy mice into which he injected S strain in normal state. यानी कि ना इसको ठंडा किया ना गर्म किया. जैसे ही मम्मी ने कर्ड बनाया था एक आप वैसा कर्ड आपने खाया. Normally what mama keeps in the fridge, let it be little bit cool and then you will have it. ये वैसा कुछ नहीं, वेट नहीं करने का, कुछ नहीं करने का. जैसा बन गया कल्चर उसने इंजेक्ट किया हेल्दी माइस में. The mice expires or the mice dies. He took the second healthy mice into which he injected the R strain. Same way, normal state. He said that the mice survives, जिंदा है. He took the third healthy mice into which he injected the S strain, which was heat killed. गरम कर दिया था उसको. जैसे मम्मी छाछ का कड़ी बनाते तो छाछ दही को पूरा गरम कर डाला ना, तो भाई इसमें भी इसने हीट किल किया उसको S strain और बाद में इंजेक्ट किया. He said that the mice survives. He took the fourth healthy mice into which he injected S strain, which was heat killed. Along with that, he injected the R strain in the normal state. यानी कि थर्ड एंड सेकंड दोनों साथ में लिया. शैतानी खोपड़ी, ये दोनों में तो सर्वाइविंग है, तो इधर भी सर्वाइविंग आना चाहिए था. करेक्ट or no? When I am taking only R strain in the normal, it is surviving. When I am taking only S strain heat killed, it is surviving. When I am taken both together, it should be surviving. The mice is expiring. What could be the reason was a concern for him. He said that there must be some particles which got transformed. So he called it particulate theory of inheritance or transforming principle. Correct? This was the work which was done by Griffiths. What did Griffiths do? Of Griffiths experiment, named as Diplococcus or Streptococcus pneumoniae, he cultured in the laboratory. Now, this bacteria is coming in two different strains. One is S strain and one is R strain. S strain is smooth-walled, capsulated, virulent, and pathogenic. Means it is capable of causing the disease pneumonia. Whereas R strain is rough-walled, non-capsulated, non-virulent, and non-pathogenic. Will not cause any disease. He kept both these cultures ready, and he simultaneously kept the healthy mice also ready. In the first mice, he injected the S strain in the normal state. Being virulent or pathogenic, the mice expired. Usko pneumonia hua, mar gaya. He took the second healthy mice into which he injected the R strain in the normal state. The mice were surviving. Why? Because R strain is non-pathogenic. He took the third healthy mice into which he injected the S strain, which was heat killed. गरम करके वो बैक्टीरिया को मार डाला था, बाद में इंजेक्ट किया. The mice is surviving. Then शैतानी खोपड़ी of ours. इसको लिया, जिंदा है, ये खट्टा है, ये मीठा है, दोनों साथ में खट्टा मीठा बनना चाहिए. Mice should be surviving, तो दोनों साथ में लिया उसने. He took the fourth healthy mice into which he injected S strain, which was heat killed, and the R strain, which is normal strain. He saw that the mice expires. He was in a great concern as to what has happened, why it has happened so. Because individually when taken, it is surviving. It went together, it should be surviving, but it is dead. What is the reason for this? So he could just put forward a particular principle. That was nothing but transforming principle. Or he could just take the theory as particulate theory of inheritance. He was not sure as to what has happened and what not, but he put forward something as particulate theory of inheritance. Is it clear? This is your first experiment which can come in your board, so either for 4 marks or for 2 marks. It differs. 4 or 2 marks. क्योंकि ये यूनिट earlier में भी था, तो अभी भी है. 2 marks के लिए हो, 4 marks के लिए हो, ये चार्ट अगर जो आपने बनाया है, it is easier for the examiner to check it. And on the basis of this chart, if you have done your description नीचे, definitely you are perfect. अभी ये description क्या था? ये description यही है ना? Griffiths took the first healthy mice into which he injected the S strain. In the normal state, he saw that the mice expires. Next point. Griffiths took the second healthy mice into which he injected the R strain. In the normal state, he saw that the mice is. Third point. Griffiths took the S strain bacteria, which was heat killed, and injected into a healthy mice. He saw that the mice is surviving. Mice, he killed in normal state. He saw that the mice expires. He could not come to any conclusion. He just said that there must be some particles which got transformed. So he put forward the things as transforming principle or particulate theory of inheritance. इसको डिस्क्राइब करना जरूर, इतना लिखा और ये लिखा, मेरे को 4 मार्क मिलेगा या 2 मार्क मिलेगा, अंडा मिलेगा. If it is for 2 marks, this is half mark, correct? Or it could be for 1 mark if it is for 4 marks. This table is half mark, correct? इसका जो डिस्क्राइब करोगे वो आधा मार्क, और ये जब भी आओगे तो आधा या 1 मार्क. If it is 2 marks, how the marks are distributed? If it is 4 marks are distributed, I've already given. Because this unit is not new, it's already there. The same way repro was there. It was there for 5 marks last year. Approximately it will be 5 and 4 marks only weightage. That's also the same weightage it will be. Mendel's also था, लेकिन Mendel's अलग था last year और sex determination अलग था. वो दोनों merge कर दिया है, तो naturally उसका weightage थोड़ा बढ़ा देंगे. तो maybe वो 4 marks का था तो 5 marks कर देंगे. You don't know, but maximum you can say you have a 4 mark question. Student simplest हुआ, दिखता है रेंदी है, लेकिन ये simplest है. एक बार ये आपने चार्ट बनाया, you will not go wrong anywhere. Just try to see the chart once again. अभी तक कुछ सर्कुलर नहीं है. कम होएगा तो भी वो लोग what they will do is they will just remove the unwanted chapters. That is your biodiversity, bio this all that. Last chapters which are there ना, ecology वाला, वो वाला. ये main chapters तो रखेंगे ना, because NEET में compulsory है ना आप लोग को. Supposing if you are going further for medical, these basics are required ना. इसके लिए they will not remove these chapters. Board month, mostly they are trying to plan it as April. As of right now, which I have heard it. I'm not sure about it. Everything will be postponed. Everything will be postponed, my dear. Everything will be postponed. You can't say anything right now. You can't say, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे, अभी कुछ नहीं बोल सकते हम लोग. The things are not even certain. They were about to start their local trains. They are not starting till August 12th. They were about to start with the coaching classes by अभी clear picture नहीं है because the number of cases are going on increasing. It is uncertain, you can say. What is going to happen tomorrow? We do not know, my dear. So live for today. Think about today. Prepare yourself. Whatever comes, you have to be prepared. जो भी है वो सब हवा में बातें हैं. जब तक जीआर नहीं आएगा, जीआर कब आएगा? जब प्रॉपर फंक्शनिंग चालू होगा. अभी तक प्रॉपर फंक्शनिंग चालू नहीं हुआ है, तो जीआर आने का वो महत्व भी नहीं है. फ्रैंकली स्पीकिंग, वो लोग बोलेंगे तभी तो ऐसा था कंडीशन, अभी कंडीशन सुधर गया है तो अभी हम लोग डाल सकते हैं. ये वो सब नाटकबाजी आएगा. यू नेवर नो. Agreed? Now, can we go further? If you can recollect, last year we had done something pertaining before going for that last year. I think here part we have to continue. Particulate theory, the transforming principle. What are those particles? There were three scientists named as Avery, McCarty, and McCord. What they did was, this was the culture media for R strain. करेक्ट. इसमें R strain उगाया है उसने. Correct. In the first one, what he did was, he put the carbohydrates of the S strain कल्चर मीडिया में डाल दिया. S strain carbohydrates or put into the culture media of the R strain. He put the proteins of the S strain in the culture media of R strain. ठीक है. Then the third one, he put the nucleic acids of the S strain. मेरा खाना, आई एम द R strain. मेरे खाने में आपका कार्बोहाइड्रेट डाल दिया R strain का. मेरे खाने में आपका प्रोटीन्स डाल दिया. मेरे खाने में न्यूक्लिक एसिड डाल दिया. वैसे ही मैंने इधर किया. R strain का खाने में S strain का कार्बोहाइड्रेट डाला. R strain का खाने में मैंने S strain का प्रोटीन्स डाल दिया. R strain का खाने में मैंने S strain का न्यूक्लिक एसिड डाला. When carbohydrates were there, no change was observed. R strain में ही डेवलप हुआ. When proteins were there, no change was observed. R strain में ही डेवलप हुआ. But when I added nucleic acids, the R strain got converted to S strain. The R strain got converted to S strain. So these three scientists came to the conclusion that the particles which were there were none other than nucleic acids. इन लोगों ने खाली यही फाइंड आउट किया, the particles were nothing but nucleic acids. Now we know that nucleic acids are of two types, DNA and RNA. Correct? We know that the nucleic acids are of two types, DNA and RNA. So there were two other scientists named as Ginderberg and Lederman. Ginderberg and Lederman, two scientists who used the agent intermediate one, that is nothing but bacteriophage. I hope you know the meaning of bacteriophage, or what is a bacteriophage. You are aware about it? Bacteriophage is a virus which is attacking the bacterial cell, and this bacteriophage is normally tadpole shape. Last year हम लोग ने lesson number 1 में नहीं, lesson number 2 में क्या था? धुंधला सा याद होएगा तो इसके अंदर DNA. Agreed? इसके अंदर genetic material is DNA. This is nothing but your tadpole shaped virus. Virus affecting the plant cell was called as phytophagine. Example, TMV virus, tobacco mosaic virus. virus affecting the animal cell was called as zoophagenae. And these viruses were having different shapes because they were having the genetic material either as DNA or RNA. You had the three types over their classification: dermatotrophic, neurotrophic, and the sapna, viscerotrophic. Dermatotrophic was skin, chickenpox, measles, etc. Neurotrophic was polio, correct? And viscerotrophic was jaundice. धुंधला सा याद आएगा, लास्ट ईयर हम लोग ने किया है ये सब, मेरे को याद है बराबर. Next, if it is plant cell, the genetic material was only RNA. It was rod shaped tobacco mosaic virus. But if it is bacterial cell, it is showing the genetic material as DNA. And they were termed as bacteriophage. And if you can remember, we said T series cassets. So इधर हम लोग ने बोला था बैक्टीरिया का example, bacteriophage का example is T even series, T2, T4, T6 and all that. So T even series करके, correct? So he used this particular agent in between. What this agent did was, this agent went and attacked. This agent went and attacked the first the S cell. तो इसका जो डीएनए था वो एस सेल का डीएनए में गया, एस स्ट्रेन का डीएनए में गया, नया डीएनए बना. जो नया डीएनए बना उसमें एस स्ट्रेन का कैरेक्टर्स आ गया था बैक्टीरियोफाज में. वो न्यू वाला बैक्टीरियोफाज which was having the S strain DNA within it went and attacked the R strain. And when it attacked the R strain, it saw that the R strain bacteriophages, this R strain ka DNA was converted to S strain. So they concluded that the nucleic acid is none other than DNA. They concluded that the nucleic acid is none other than DNA. For this, then other scientists also came. And these two scientists were something, Hershey and Chase. The two scientists were Hershey and Chase. They had used the isotopic form of phosphate and they used the isotopic form of sulfur. Like how if you can recollect, while doing photosynthesis and all that, we had used the isotopic form of carbon as normal carbon was 12. We had used 14. Oxygen is normal 16. We had used at 18. Correct? So, ये लोग ने भी इधर ये phosphate and sulfur का isotopic form use किया था. And they did that particular experiment on the basis of which they confirmed that the genetic material or the particle which got transformed were none other than DNA. They confirmed it entirely as DNA. Now here the entire diagram has to be drawn. So, and the time is becoming short. Sir, should we continue or should we discontinue now? Sanket sir?
Ma'am, I think it's gone on for 1.5 hours. They won't be able to focus much longer. So let's call it off for now.
Okay.
We'll continue at some other time.
Okay. Now when is tomorrow? So evening का मत लोग बोर हो जाते हैं, पूरा दिन थक जाते हैं.
उनका कॉलेज है एक्चुअली दोपहर को, इसलिए इवनिंग में रखते हैं.
मॉर्निंग में रखना मेरा.
मैम
ये लोग दोपहर को शाम को सो जाते हैं, थक जाते हैं. तो
नहीं मैम, लेकिन अगर सवेरे रखा तो बहुत, वो कॉलेज में लेक्चर्स और सबका सेम टाइमिंग भी नहीं है तो.
अच्छा. एंड संडे
वी कैन कीप मैम, संडे विल कीप.
हाँ संडे को रख, फिर नहीं तो मॉर्निंग में.
ठीक है, चलेगा. Okay.
तो फिर इट विल बी बेटर ना, दे एटलीस्ट कंसंट्रेट सम, बिकॉज़ ये मेजर यूनिट है इसके लिए.
नहीं मैम, संडे को 100% रख देते हैं.
ओके. सो टुमारो इट इज नॉट देयर ना?
नो मैम, नॉट टुमारो.
हेलो.
Yeah, it's not there tomorrow, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.